Okay, here we go.
Welcome everyone to our very first YouTube video. We hope to do the Traveling Astrologer show. So every month we will be putting up a new YouTube video. But to start today, we're very happy to be at the Argyle Fine Art Shop right here in downtown Halifax at 1559 Barrington Street. When you're in Halifax, it's a great place to drop in. And one of the things that drew us here today is that they have brought in some astrological greeting cards. And you know, being an astrologer, that's right up my alley. So we thought one of the fun things to do today would be to go through every single astrological sign. It would be fun to come into the Argyle Fine Art Shop and pick up a specific card for that loved one of yours so that you will be able to tell them a little bit more about them. So let's get started. And the very first sign that starts in the astrological alignment is the astrology sign of Aries. Now Aries generally goes from the 21st of March to the 20th of April. People talk about, there are times that actually Aries can go to the 21st of April or even the 20th of March, depending on the wobble of the earth and when the sun moves into the sign of Aries. Aries is our first fire sign. They are the pioneering spirit. They are the people who want to be ahead of the pack. You know, they're the Pied Piper. I bet you the Pied Piper himself was actually an Aries. They want people to open and create that pathway in front of them. And they are fiery. They are that first astrological fire cardinal, which is the leadership signs. They're not great perhaps on finishing things behind here. Why? They need to be the pioneers. So they need to be the ones that are out ahead of the pack. You want some new ideas, or you want a friend who's really going to jump right on the next idea for you? Go and monitor and look for an Aries. They're there. They have it for you. What's the next sign? The next sign is Taurus. And that is our first earth sign. Taurus people are very concerned about security. And I always say, if you give a Taurus $100, they're going to go and buy one particular product for that $100. They value things that are very high in value. The Taurus is a fixed sign. It's the stubborn bull we're talking about there. But they're also very cuddly. They bring in that sense of cuddles to you and their necessity of knowing that life is secure. The dates for the Taurus is the 21st of April to the 21st of May. And again, just like Aries and every other sign, they don't always enter into that sign right on that particular date. There are some years, again, that Taurus can come into being a Taurus on the 20th of April or the 22nd of May. The next sign up is our Gemini friends. They are the communicators. They're the yakkers. I can 100% guarantee you, you do not have a Gemini in your life that sits there very quietly. It is not what they do. It is not who they are. We often see our Gemini friends actually in doing things such as PR and newspaper. They are the communicators. They are the people who want to get that information out there. Now they are the twins, which says what's good today is not necessarily good tomorrow for a Gemini. So they have that swayability. They like difference. They like to be able to have spontaneous different things in order to get involved with. Keeping a Gemini or having a Gemini board is not a very pretty picture. They love that constant movement that goes on. And the Gemini sign is from the 22nd of May to the 21st of June. And this is the beautiful alignment that happens up in the sky in the sign of Gemini. Then we go to our water signs. Our first water sign is Cancer. And Cancers are the motherhood, mothership, mothering, mother connection. They mother everybody, as a matter of fact. That is what Cancers enjoy doing. And their sign is the 22nd of June to the 22nd of July. And their glyph or their logo is sort of crab claws, which means that when a Cancer is feeling emotional or feeling very hurt, they have a tendency to go inside of those crab claws. And it's very difficult to move them out, to pull them out. But one of the most important things to know about a Cancer is that when a Cancer loves, they love deeply. And they always hold that particular individual deep within their heart. That is so, so important from a Cancer perspective. The other thing, let me tell you, should you have a Cancer friend, if they want to put their hands on $100, they can. They always have some money tucked away for a different day. Never underestimate a Cancer and how many little stashes of money they have here and there. Then we come back to our fire signs again. We talked about Aries as being our very first fire sign. And so our second fire sign in the zodiac is Leo. Leo is the lion. Let me hear you roar. And when you're at a party, sometimes it's difficult to sort of look around and see the different signs coming in the door. But let me tell you, if a Leo has walked in a room, you know a Leo has walked into a room. They are very dramatic. They are very creative, and that's one of the things that people misunderstand quite often with a Leo. They come into this earth plane with this huge ability to bring in that creative spirit. And when I have clients and they are Leos, and they're wondering, along their purpose and where they're going and what they really should be doing, there always has to be some type of a proponent of creativity. And even though we talk about the Leo person being the lion, one of the things that people often don't know about a Leo is that they really do fear ridicule. They really are people who look for other people to tell them, you're doing a great job, it's working really well for you, thank you for all you've done for me. And Leo's dates are from the 23rd of July to the 21st of August. The next sign along the way is the sign of Virgo. It is our next earth sign. Virgos are our workaholics in our life. Virgos don't seem to know when to give up working. They have that attention to detail. They have that importance of making sure that they have a plan of action on how things really do work together. That whole attention to detail is so important for the Virgo. And I always find that when I have a client coming in for an astrology reading, I really prepare very differently for a Virgo quite often than a lot of the other different signs. Why? Because they want to know every why, how come, where, when, and how is that going to come about. That is so important for the actual Virgo. Virgo's sign goes from the 22nd of August to the 23rd of September. And the astrological card for the Virgo, actually it's quite interesting because to me, I think it holds even more detail. Is that a surprise with the whole Virgo alignment? The sign following the sign of Virgo is our next air sign. And our next air sign is Libra. Now, it's interesting in the life of Libras right now because there's a lot of planetary alignment going on with Libra. So they kind of feel a little bit like they have a little bit of their thumb on them. It's a wonderful planet to come through. It is a planet called Jupiter, and Jupiter is our planet of expansion and opening up. And what we're going to see with the Libras is that there is doors that are opening greatly for our Libra friends. So Libra starts from the 24th of September and continues on until the 23rd of October. So people who have their birth dates right now around the 9th, 10th, 11th area of October are the people who are really feeling a lot of this planetary alignment. How can I be bringing more into my life? What is it that I need to be bringing in to create that balance and harmony? Libra is a lovely sign, and when people come in and actually even talk about partnerships and relationships, I would only ever, in all of the astrological signs, ever put two Libras together. I personally would never put two Aquarians or two Cancers or two Geminis. God forbid the two Geminis. But certainly the two Libras I would, because Libra is about the balance and the harmony. We all have a bit of a shadow side to us. And the shadow side to Libras is that often they can sit on the fence and wait and see. And part of it is because, again, they don't want to upset the apple cart. They want to create that whole balance and harmony and centeredness. They're very intuitive, and the other thing that happens for them is when the people around them may feel like they are out of balance, the Libra individual also feels that deeply within. So they will do anything to kind of go and create that balance. What's the next sign? The next sign is sexy Scorpio. When I do public speaking, often I say, if you want a good time, call a Scorpio. And I say it in jest, but Scorpio has the intensity. And I can always tell a Scorpio at a party anywhere, because they generally have the most intensity eyes that anyone can possibly imagine. Their eyes automatically light up. They are the investigative sign. They are the policemen, the investigators. They dig for clues. Now, the other fun thing about a Scorpio is they only ever tell you half the story. They never give you the whole entire story. And so I have some Scorpio friends who, when I get told the story, I will then say, so what part is it you're not telling me? Scorpios like to keep a lot of cards in their own back pocket. They like the secrets. But they are also the people at a party who's sitting over in a corner going, what do you do? How did you get that? What's your education? How did you get into there? Who do you know there? What type of work do you do there? And when the questioning gets turned back around to them, we see the Scorpio go, and there is silence. They like to have a lot more of the cards in their own back pocket. So the Scorpio sign goes from the 24th of October to the 22nd of November. Scorpio is a fixed sign. I talked about, the fixed sign of Taurus. The fixed signs are Taurus and Leo and Scorpio and Aquarius. So one of the things you're going to find with those fixed signs is that sometimes they can be very fixed in opinion. And it's very difficult to actually change the mindset of a fixed sign. And I'm an Aquarian, so I know that. We next come into our last fire sign in the zodiac, and that is Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius as well are going through some very interesting times just in the heavens right now. We do have the planet called Saturn, and Saturn is that sense of responsibility. It's the pain in the butt planet because it's the great teacher. And we as a human race don't really learn very well unless it sort of pows us between the eyes. So Sagittarius is about truthfulness. Sagittarius is about laying the cards on the table and being upfront and being honest. And one of the things with Sagittarius is that they also need a fair amount of freedom. Freedom is very important for them. So if you think you're going to get in a relationship with a Sag and attach yourself to their hip, good luck with that. That is not going to happen with a Sagittarian. Sagittarius is the 23rd of November to the 22nd of December. All of those cards are so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And they're all here for sale right here at the Argyle Fine Art Shop at 1559 Barrington Street. Our next sign is Capricorn. Capricorn, they are the business people of the zodiac. They're very serious people. If you're at a party and lots of people are doing big ha-ha-ha's, it's going to take a little while for that Capricorn person to actually allow themselves that big ha-ha-ha. They often will treat their heart like a business. They are the business signs. We've got some very interesting planetary alignments going on with Capricorn people just at this point in time. Lots of Capricorns really have a bit of a wall around them, and often what you see is not necessarily what you get with a Capricorn. So the rest of us, and again I can say this, I'm Aquarian, I'm not the Capricorn behind the wall, so I can say this. But over the last 3 or 4 years, people who were born near the 23rd of December, from the 23rd of December right up to the end of December, there's been a planet that has come along and chink, 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 has taken down the wall of those people. So we're now going to have another 5 or 6 years still working on that Capricorn mindset. But they are wonderful people behind this wall. What they don't realize, it's a glass wall. We can all see the wonderful person in behind the wall. It's just yourself that doesn't see the wonderful business person that you've come to be. And my favorite sign is Aquarius. Aquarius is the different sign. They did not come to fit a norm. As a matter of fact, I had a client drive down from Moncton a couple of weeks ago who is an Aquarian. And she drove down mainly because in so many ways she felt she was not fitting in. We spent a fair amount of time talking about that. Aquarians don't fit in. They did not come to fit in. They are ruled by the planet Uranus, which is the planet of unexpected events. And I'd be willing to say I've been married for 27 years, and my husband even today would say, who knows what Holly's going to do next? And that's what happens with Aquarians. Now, with Aquarius, you generally, with the glyph, actually do see it looking, and it is the water bearer. But the logo, that is actually waves of electricity. Aquarius are very electrical people. They magnetize through electricity. And they are probably the ones turning off a light switch that's going to get the greatest connection with that light switch. They have this big need too for electrical things. And Aquarius dates are the 21st of January to the 19th of October, 19th of February. We jumped quite a bit if we're going to go to October. Aquarius people are your astronauts. They are your scientists. Aquarius people are often 5 years ahead of their time. So sometimes being an Aquarian, it's a little difficult to have a conversation with me. I do realize that there are people who look at me from time to time and kind of look and go, like, what planet did you maybe just fall from? That is the Aquarian sign. We are the humanitarian sign in the zodiac, and we actually are also the sign that has come to think outside of the box, to not stay in the box. our last sign in the zodiac. Our last sign in the zodiac is Pisces. Interesting times for our Pisces friends as well. Pisces are fish swimming in opposite directions. And I think one of the reasons that people choose to come forward as Pisces, they are our dreamers in the zodiac. They are people who prefer to be asleep versus awake. They love their dream state. They have the most wonderful physical nighttime dreams. And I often think that people who are Pisces are often way more intuitive than a lot of other people. The dates for Pisces is the 20th of February to the 20th of March. Now what's interesting right now up in the sky, we actually have the sign of Pisces, Neptune going through the sign of Pisces. This is where we're into all these paint nights. When we last had Neptune in Pisces, we had a lot of connection to the great artists. We had Van Gogh, we had Beethoven, we had Michelangelo. They all lived through the timing of Neptune in Pisces, which we are now back into. And so as astrologers, and it's also our belief, that a lot of these great artists are coming back through, are rolling back through. A lot of our younger children today would have probably through reincarnation lived through that exact time period. It allows all of us to get into that creative side. So what a wonderful place to come and do our first video, especially since last Sunday Neptune had been retrograding, which meant that Neptune was sort of underground a little bit. And last Sunday, Neptune turned and went direct. I 100% guarantee you, artists and people who didn't even know they were artists will be coming out of the woodwork, and we'll see that for at least the next 3 to 4 years. So specifically, if you have a small child, and I'm thinking small children from 10 years and younger, remember, they lived through this time period. They are familiar with the creative arts. And I'm really concerned that our school system today are failing these children, because the way to teach these particular children is by using a creative measure. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was wonderful sharing all about the astrological signs and the cards. Thank you to Argyle Fine Arts for inviting us here and having us here to share all about that Neptune and Pisces. When you look in the stars at night, look up and recognize there is a star shining just for you.